A lot of people are shocked at how big the XRP system has become in the past few months. Once more, 2018 has been a great year for XRP and Ripple. We all remember when prices were pretty even, right? Many of you aren't pleased by the price action, but those of you who have been paying attention already know what an amazing year it's been for XRP's growth. XRP is still up over 400%. I must say, this cycle has been great so far. The use, growth, and changes happening around the XP system, really cool things about the EVM side chain, and I think this is just the beginning. From Open Eden, we're going to look over here. It's been a busy month for the XRP system. Its DYTL value went up by 19% and its RDA value went up by 32.27%. Open Eden is pleased to have been at the top of the XRP Ledger RWA League growth tail for 30 days in a row. We're ahead of the curve when it comes to institutional grade RWA tokenization, which is growing faster than ever. We can also see that when we look back at what's been going on, a lot of good things have been said about tokenization by well-known people. The short term is all we can think about right now since there isn't much money on the chain. There aren't any big plans for how to move forward with tokenization. When the turbocharger goes off, which we know will happen when the SEC makes its stance clear on the tokenization market, things will change and speed up very, very quickly. This is due to the fact that big players can enter the market whenever it is clear. Blockchain tokenization is making a lot of money right now. There's a chance that these networks will quickly fill up with trillions of dollars. In light of that, let us quickly take a look at how the XRP record has grown. In the past 30 days, it's gone up 30%. It's gone up by 36 million or 23.43 per in the last 30 days. Also, it's worth over fee 6 cents more than it did 30 days ago. I'll say it again, watching XRP grow has been really cool. If you look at the top 30-day gainers, Open Eden is up 274%. It was possible to see after taking a quick look at those T-bills. I wish there was a way for the network to see this. It was pretty clear, right? This is where the green XRP is shown. That big jump began at the beginning of August. You should know that Open Eden has been growing really well so far. A lot of these other prices will also go up, especially since more plans to tokenize XRP haven't been made public yet. We know that there'll be a lot more tokenization news soon, even more so now that Ripple swell is almost here. That sounds like one of the most exciting things that's going to happen soon. At that, as in 2024, 2023, and 2022, big news came out. Mark your calendar for Ripple flow, I agree. That will make even more people use the XRP system for moves that use tokens. Now, let's talk about a new Ripple piece that talks about a very important factor that will determine the future 18.9 trillion in tokenized assets by 2033. A case that works well enough for banks, which Ripple has already worked with. Here are 5 important things you can learn from the Blockchain Association of Singapore Custody Workshop about how technology is changing banking compliance by design, what strong control means, how to make operations more resilient, and how to use stable connected to the 19 trillion business. Let's just go ahead and start now that we think about it. First, digital asset custody is quickly becoming an important part of the financial system as digital finance grows. Key use cases like stablecoin issues, cross-border payments, and tokenized RWAs now depend on custody. As usage speeds up, businesses need a custody solution that is safe, scalable, and in line with how the law is changing. Because of these things, ownership is now an even more important part of the world of digital assets. A training about custody was held by the Ripple and Blockchain Association of Singapore at the beginning of this month. Why you should keep your computer things safe. Care is the most important step for companies that want to get into the digital asset economy. It puts in place the tools needed to lower risk, make sure rules are followed, and build new possible business plans. A new study from Ripple and the Boston Consulting Group says that by 2033, there will be mostly 18.9 trillion worth of tokenized RWAs. The fast rise in desire is caused by this. This study from Ripple about the new value of 2025 shows that institutions are becoming more and more interested in using digital assets. The study found that 71% of businesses and banking institutions in APAC are more digital assets now than they were 6 months ago. Right now, only 30% of businesses use custody options, but 52% hope to in the future. In the next 3 years. Also, yes, this is important to know because 71% of business institutions in APAC are trusting digital assets more. It's important to pay attention to that number because it tells us that adoption will keep going up at the business and governmental level. This class taught you that we now have a way to make sure that our custody system is always compliant. In a way, this just breaks down what you need or how you know, as if these were the most important things to take a look. Pick a parenting plan that works for your company. A big part of holding infrastructure is making sure that it works well all the time. Institutions need a strong government in order for people to trust them. Getting more people to use safe coins is all about making sure they are safe. This is the most important thing about even tokenization, by the way. Being able to own something is a big part of tokenization. When we think about what's coming on and what's coming up, this is what we see. Getting trained emphasized how important it is to keep digital assets safe because it is a key part of getting people to trust agencies and use digital assets. As more users come up and laws get stricter, the system for custody will need to be strong, clear, and adaptable. To meet these goals, people must be able to self-care, use third-party providers, or a mix of the two. Then we can move on to the next step, which is stablecoin use, tokenized banking, and cross-border settlement. For Ripple Custody is designed to help institutions safely deal with tokenized assets while also ensuring they follow the law, giving them practical freedom and integration for the whole business. The next step is to make the infrastructure for custody work better with smart contracts, tokenized papers that are tied to conditions that happen off-chain. This will allow for the creation of programmable payments, conditional settlement, and automatic compliance processes. It's important to do this. It will also let trade flows be fully executed on the blockchain. We can make a digital banking system that can grow as needed, connect to other systems, and change with the times by adding these features. All of this does help Ripple become a big part of infrastructure. When we think about that puzzle, then we look at everything. Today, we're going to talk about tokenization.